Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Stamp and Chat Live. I am Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all around the world. Tonight, I know why you guys are here. Tonight, we have a very special guest waiting in the wings. She is my bestie, Miss Jennifer McGuire. She's going to be here in just a little bit. But before we get started, I do want to tell you what we're going to be doing tonight. So Jennifer and I talked a little bit about what might be fun to share with all of you. And we thought wreath building would be really fun. When I came out with my wreath builder templates, gosh, what is it, like 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago? I don't even know. I remember before I released it to the public, I sent Jennifer a little video to show it to her. And it was so important to me what she thought, because everybody knows Jennifer McGuire is an engineer. She's a card engineer. She's an engineer. She has that brain that thinks so out of the box all the time. And when she gave me the stamp of approval on it, I just knew that it was going to do pretty well. And people really, really liked it. So Jennifer made a couple videos with it. I made a bunch of videos. And a lot of you have this template set. And then we kind of, do other things, but I love to revisit the oldies but goodies. And the Wreath Builder is just one of those things that every year I have to do at least a couple of videos. So when Jennifer and I were talking and she said we could do wreath building, I thought, man, that's such a great idea. Let's do it. And of course, she's going to wow you because she always does. Now, before we get started, should we say hello to Tom? Hey, Tom, are you there? Hey, there you are.
Yeah, let's get that out of the way.
There, that's the only mistake of the night. But that's not a mistake. Everybody loves to see you.
Oh, the night is young. Actually, it looked pretty good, actually, for the...
Yeah, there you go.
Look,
see, look, you can see the dead
out.
space.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. All right.
So, yeah, I want to ask Jennifer about engineering school, if they have an out-of-the-box class. There's just nothing but like, here's how you go out of the box. Here's how you think. It's probably held outdoors or something,
I don't know anything about it. I respect all y'all that have such high degrees and so educated. I'm just over here, beauty school dropout. Oh, but all right. Well, I think everybody's waiting for it. We can't prolong this because people are just getting antsy. But I waited. I waited till we hit over 2,000 people. So now we're over 2,000 people. So now I can bring her in. All right, everybody. I know she's who you're waiting for. Let's welcome her, my bestie, Jennifer McGuire. Hey, Jen.
Hello. How are you?
It's so good to see you.
It's going to be better than horrible, right?
That's right. Absolutely. It's always better than horrible when you and I are together. But do you have any fruit salad is the question.
All I have is a giant thing of water, which may
Same.
cause me to need an intermission.
I know, you're so funny, but I'll tell you, I have to have this now because I get choking fits in the middle of my lives now, which is no fun. How are you? I feel like it's been forever since I've seen you, and you look absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. It's middle of summer. Kids are home. Husband's retired. So I've got everybody in the house all the time.
That's good. Does that give you more time or less time to create?
Probably less, but I think that's a good thing. Distractions are good.
Absolutely. Right, absolutely. I love Lila. Lila and I were talking a little bit before, and I shared a crystal with her. I love Lila. She's like my favorite person. She really is.
She's a good egg.
Yes, she is. All right.
And I'm excited to build wreaths tonight.
I am too. And, I was telling everybody about how, when I first came up with it, how you were the first person I sent it to. I'm like, is this going to work? Do you think people will like it?
Oh, yeah.
You were so supportive.
And I have a new idea I've never shared using it tonight. And I'm hoping it works.
Well, that's the story of my Stamp and Chat Lives. That's how you go into
Perfect.
it. I hope it works.
Good to know. Good to know.
All right. Well, we've got lots of people here, and we want to thank everybody for joining us. We love you guys, and we are so grateful to have you here. Now, I'm going to just tell you a little bit about the Wreath Builder, because we have new crafters all the time that join us, and some of them are like, wait, there's a Wreath Builder thing. So let me just give you the quick overview of what this is. So I'm going to just go to my overhead here. This is the Wreath Builder template set. I have one inside my Misty already, and I have another one right here. And then this set comes with two different sizes, a 4-inch and a 3 3/4-inch Wreath Builder, and then 2 star pieces that are alignment tools. They help in the center to help you align your images better. It also is great if you're doing circular things that you want to kind of see if a die is going to fit or something like that. This is just a great way to lay out your stamps on your Wreath Builder. Let me show you if you can see the outlines there. It's always kind of weird with the lighting, but you can see them in real life. So, Jennifer, what stamp set are you going to use for your wreath building tonight?
Ooh, well, I am using the Flowing Florals. And
I
I
love
think
that.
one of the best things about the Wreath Builder, well, there's two very good things. The first is the price point is low, and it's a tool that you can use in so many ways. So it's a very affordable tool. But the other great thing about a Wreath Builder is that it puts to use those smaller images that you sometimes overlook. Now, I'm using not the smallest images there are, because I don't want to take too long stamping today, but the Wreath Builder is all about using those tiny images to make something magnificent. So I will be using the Flowing Florals today.
I love that set, and I love that you're using it for wreath building, because when that set came out, so many of us really focused on the larger images or building some bouquets, and to use that in a Wreath Builder card, in a wreath card, is amazing. And like Jennifer just said, as a stamp company owner, you know, when I'm designing a 6x8 stamp set and there's empty spots, I put little images in there. I'd rather give you something than just blank spots. But a lot of times when people get these images, they go, like, what do I use that for? It's so tiny. That's where your Wreath Builder comes to the rescue. And even stamps like this. Now, this is our latest incentive set. You have that one there?
Because I thought these would be great for the wreath.
I think it would be too. And I think the thing that's cool about these images is you can use something just like that little center of the flower, or just like that little dot to add a little splash of color around the wreath. So look at your stamps differently when you're thinking about creating with the Wreath Builder.
And it doesn't have to be a wreath. You could have like a circle of like these little bees, or you can keep building out from the center and create a whole background. It doesn't have to just be a wreath.
Absolutely. And then there's the mandala maker stamp sets, which create mandalas and kaleidoscope patterns. So that's very similar to what Jennifer's talking about, where you're using different images. Now, for the example of making bees, that's adorable. But you may even be able to just use that oval as an element and create cool patterns too.
For sure.
So you can see what I did here is I put my wreath. I'm using, which one are you using? You're using the big one, right? The 4-inch?
I'm using the 4-inch one.
Okay, I'm using the 3 3/4-inch one. So that's perfect. Now, what I like to do, and Jennifer probably has her own thoughts, but we'll just share all of our tips and you can take what you want. I actually put a little bit of tape here on the bottom of my Misty, and then I pop my mouse pad in there. And the reason I do that is because you might have your Wreath Builder taped down, but if your pad shifts, you can see down here at the bottom, this pad doesn't actually go all the way to the bottom. So if it shifts, that will mess up your wreath. So I like to tape it down that way. And then
I just did the same.
Oh, good. Okay, good. So Jennifer's
I like your tip.
Hers. Oh, good. So she's taping hers right in the middle. I'm going to tape mine up into the corner. Either way will work. Do whatever works for you. Okay, so that's how you want to put your Wreath Builder into your Misty stamping tool. And you can use this with other stamping platforms as well. I know some of you over in Europe have the Tim Holtz stamping platform, and that it'll work the same way. You just got to tape it down on there so it doesn't move. Same for you guys that are Stampin' Up! Aficionados and have the Stamparatus. Just make sure that it's taped down to the surface. All right.
And you could use this side, but I think in video for us to show you, it's better to have the black side up. And I taped mine in the middle. And the reason I taped it in the middle is because of the technique that I'm doing. It just is helpful, but you could definitely go in the corner for it.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yep. Well, that's a good reason why, though. You know, if they're going to learn the technique or they're following along with your card, they should do it that way. Now, I am going to find a piece of ivory cardstock here. One thing I wanted to let you guys know is that our Master Layouts 3 die set, which right now is somewhere on a ship. For some reason, this die set in our reorder did not arrive with everything else, and we are hoping that it arrives soon. But so if you're interested in it, throw yourself on the wait list. And some of you already have this one and maybe didn't even know what to do with it. But these two dies, these stitch dies, the 4-inch one and the 3 3/4-inch one make the perfect square to fit into the Wreath Builder template, but it does give you that decorative little stitched edge, which is super fun. So I'm not going to use this today, but I wanted to point that out in case you have this die set and you haven't used it. You can use it in your Wreath Builder.
Yep, it's perfect for it.
So what are you doing as far as cardstock goes, Jennifer?
Okay, so one of the things that I like to do is a whole card front. Instead of just the 4-inch square, I like to do the whole card front. So this is 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. So it's an A2 panel, like many of us make for card making. You could do bigger if you wanted to, but I'm doing 4 1/4 by 5.5. And you'll notice it doesn't really fit in there, right? So I'm going to show you a trick on how you can do a wreath right in the center of this bigger piece. And I've done videos before with how to make like a wreath in the corner of a bigger piece and stuff, but this is the first time I've tried this maneuver, and I'm going to use this template, and we're going to cross our fingers.
I was doing it for you right there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, what I did here is I cut my piece out of some ivory cardstock, and I cut mine down to fit the template. So mine is 3 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4 of an inch, and it's going to fit right into that template. Now, I'm going to recommend that if you are stamping a wreath in the center of a square panel, and Jennifer, you probably might have some different advice here for the project you're doing. But mine, I'm going to say, try to start in this orientation and not in the diamond orientation. Yes. And there's a reason for that. And once you see the reason, then you're going to understand it a little bit better. So let's say I'm using this design. And I think, okay, I want to put it right here. That's going to look really good because I want the biggest wreath I can get. Well, once I turn my cardstock, now all of a sudden it is outside of the cardstock and it's not going to be a cohesive wreath. But if you start in this orientation, you already know that you're tucked in tight enough. If you're still concerned about where you're placing it, that's when you can use this center star piece and you can kind of determine ahead of time, I want my wreath to be small, I want it to be medium, I want it to be big, and you can place your stamp where you want it.
So are you making a small wreath tonight?
Well, I am going to make a very small wreath tonight because I'm trying something I never tried before either. So Jennifer, tonight could really go to hell in a handbasket real quick.
Well, you know, we can always get that fruit salad.
We can, right? That's right. I wanted to make a vintage card because a lot of people out there have the vintage kit, the vintage summer kit, and that's only available for one more week. So I wanted to be able to use it at least one more time before all the components go on sale separately, just in case anybody sees something and they want to get it at a better price. I'm going to use the Master Layouts 12. That's what that is, right? Nice. Master Layouts 12. Yeah,
that's the most recent one, isn't it?
It is. It's the vintage one. So I'm excited about it. And I think I'm going to try to build a wreath that's going to fit into the center. Ooh. We really should.
Now I'm making a giant wreath that's going to hang off the edges.
Oh, yours is going to be
doing
beautiful.
Opposite things.
We are. We're doing opposites. Mine's going to be tiny.
It'll be neat to see how different ours are.
Yes. Well, it's going to give them a lot of really good ideas. They're going to be able to
Yes.
see a couple different things here. And we're going to ask you not to vote because we don't compete. We
No.
collaborate. So
No.
we don't want to
No,
know.
don't do that to us.
Okay, so can you see what I'm doing here? I am lining up the top of this die and the bottom of the die so it looks fairly close to being in the same spot. And then
Fits in there nicely.
It does fit in there nicely. And I'm going to use this. It's kind of like a pine kind of sprig right in here.
Do you have that stamp set handy by any chance?
I do. Do you want to see it?
Yeah, I want to show it. If not, I'll dig mine out. There you go.
This is it. Yeah. I love this one too. It's got some really beautiful big images, and then it's got these smaller images that I think are great for wreath building. And then it's got pretty delicate designs. And for those of you that love foiling, we also did poly glaze in all of these words, so you could add that little bit of sparkle.
And these little small images in here often get overlooked, and they'll be beautiful, especially for like a holiday wreath too.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that if I wasn't going in the center here, I could spread this out and make it look a little bit more, you know, I don't know, a little fuller, but this is going to look, well, yeah, this is going to look pretty tight because I'm trying to get it into this center.
That's good.
And my goal here tonight is to show you guys, Jennifer's card is going to be all about the wreath, right? I mean, you're going to have this big, gorgeous wreath. And my card, I'm showing you that wreaths can also be a vital part of a card without being the focal image. It can be in the background, because I think I'm going to put the bird on top of all of this.
Oh, nice.
So we'll see.
No, mine is wreath. Mine's all wreath.
Yours is all wreath all day.
Unless unless the wreath goes awry, then I might cover it with 10 birds.
Okay, that works.
We'll see.
All right,
do you want to start your wreath, and then I'll get started on mine?
I'll do that. I'm just going to pick up my design so then I know where it is, and then I can get rid of this die. That was really just for placing it, and it doesn't even matter that it's in the center of the card. So if I'm a little off, it's okay. I am going to end up cutting this wreath out anyway. Great. Okay. So
you said that's ivory cardstock, right?
This is ivory, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to use charcoal brown because I love this color when doing vintage cards. I feel like it really, really works. So let me just give our new people just a quick tutorial on basically how to build a wreath. So what you're going to do is you're going to stamp your image, and then you're going to pick up your cardstock and you're going to turn it to the next point, which is the diamond orientation, and you're going to stamp it again. And this allows you to change up colors if you want. I mean, you could do all kinds of things. Now, Tom saw me working on this earlier, and he had some comments. You want to tell them what you thought this looked like, Tom?
Well, first of all, it just looks kind of itchy to me. And then it reminded me of something that was hanging onto my sock when I was doing some yard work.
These are the things you want to hear from someone as you're creating.
Right?
An itchy thing that hangs on your sock.
All right.
Right. And then it has the makings of a maybe a Game of Thrones kind of wreath, Christmas wreath.
It is spiky. I know it's spiky. And I
see a holiday wreath with little red gems all over it.
I do too. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm here for you.
I appreciate it.
Tom, I bet there's a word of the day coming out of that. I just have this feeling. No pressure. I have this feeling.
There could be. And if it's not today, there'll be one forthcoming. I know it really does look a little thorny, but it's okay. It's still going to look really pretty. Beautiful. And it's going to kind of be in the background a little bit anyway. There we go.
Look at that. So, just by turning it and stamping it over and over. That's amazing.
It is pretty. It does look like a crown of thorns. Yes, it does. but it fits in there perfectly, right? And that's what I wanted from it. I wanted it to kind of fit into that window. And remember, it's going to be in the background because I am going to pop a die cut on top of it. All right. So I'm going to color this with a Copic marker, Jennifer, while you talk a little bit about what you're doing. And before you start, Jennifer, I just want to welcome
Yes.
everybody, because we've got a huge crowd of people out here that have joined us tonight, and we are so
Yay.
grateful for you. I see people coming in from Facebook, also on Twitch, all 2,800 of you. We love you. We are so grateful that you're here. We really are. All right,
And
Jennifer.
that puts no pressure on me, none whatsoever. You know, crashing and burning on your own channel is one thing, but on your friends, that's a whole nother thing.
You know what?
Okay,
Crashing and burning.
So
I don't think you've
Gina
ever crashed
cut
or
a
burned.
piece.
Okay.
Oh, I do. Gina had cut a piece that fits nicely into her template. And I wanted to show you that you can take a bigger piece, like an A2 panel, and still use the wreath builder to build a wreath right in the center. And here is the trick that I do, that I'm hoping works. I'm using that centerpiece. So this fits right in there. This is the 4-inch template. And this fits right in there. And this helps you with alignment. But I'm going to do a little trick here. I'm going to take the back of my panel and put some tape runner on the back of it. Anything temporary works. So there's tape runner right here. I just wrote that on there so you could see what side it was. And I'm going to take this and lay that right in the center as the best as I can, just eyeballing it. So I'm temporarily have adhered my white panel onto this template. See how it's kind of centered there evenly on the sides and the top and the bottom?
Yeah.
So now I can take this and place this into my into the template and see how it fits. And this will stay stuck to that little template. Does that make sense?
That makes total sense. And that's brilliant. I love that.
So now you can easily fit it in the corners, but you're not fitting your paper in the corners. You're fitting these templates. The corners of this template. So it fits in really well. So I want to do a big, massive, oversized cheer up your day wreath. So I'm just going to flip it over. So I'm on the back side now and putting these corners in because I want to use those circles to just kind of give me an idea of where my placement would be. And I'm going with the bigger flower. If you want a dainty wreath, you could definitely go with the smaller flower. The nice thing about the wreath builder is you really can't go wrong. You really can't. If the images overlap, it's okay. If they, like Gina's overlapped, if they don't overlap, it's okay. You can fill it in. So there's so many things you can do. So I want mine to be up high and kind of fill in this whole panel. Now you'll see when I rotate it, it will hang off the side a bit, but that's okay. I'm okay with that idea. I want a really big wreath with the focal point in the center. So I'm going to place that first stamp there. I'll close the door to pick it up. And now my stamp is in position. And now this is going to get flipped over and fit right into the background. So you see those corners sticking out, fit right in. So every time, as long as I have those corners fitting in, I know I'm good to go. And then I'm going to start building a wreath. Gina.
Yes.
I got a question. Should I make my wreath from pools or should I make my wreath from orchids?
Oh my goodness.
These are these and the lilac are my favorites of yours. So which should I do?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to say, I'm going to say pools just because it's our color, Jennifer.
Yes, it is.
It's our color. And one of us should be using those colors tonight. Definitely. Oh, I see a lot of people are voting though. They're actually voting right now. And people are saying,
I see a lot of orchid.
I do see a lot of orchid too. But then I'm seeing a lot of, you want to go with orchid? Okay, we'll go with orchid.
You know what? We'll go with orchid because those are the first I saw a lot of. And this is a newer colors from you. There's also dark too, but I'm just using actually I'm going to use the medium and the dark.
Ooh, okay.
Those are the two I'm going to use. So instead of doing each flower the same color, I'm going to alternate. So I'll stamp it once with medium and then rotate and stamp it once with dark. So should I go ahead and go or do you want to go back to yours?
Oh, you can go ahead and go. And then while you're stamping that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the bird image from the vintage set. So we could probably go on split screen and I'm going to stamp this bird image and then I'm going to stamp it in the browns again. Where did I put my cardstock though? I lost my ivory cardstock. I'm going to have to cut another piece. Oh no, here's a piece. Okay. I'm going to stamp this bird on ivory. See, it's sitting on the ivory cardstock. I don't know what's wrong with my brain.
You know,
I'm telling you,
That's a
I
good
don't know what
bird.
happened. I was doing great. I was doing great until I hit my 50s. And then,
oh,
and then I don't
I
know
started
what.
going downhill before that.
Oh my goodness.
So I did my first flower here, and now watch, I'm going to rotate it. So this is going to go up to the next corner. So watch, this corner is going to just go right there. And my cardstock will hang out the bottom or out the side of the stamping tool. Doesn't matter at all. No
I
worries.
love it.
And if you are feeling you need to secure it, you can also use your magnet, but these are fitting into the new spot. So now I'm switching to dark.
So now I'm going to give something else a go while you're doing yours. I'm going to try one other image because, you were talking about how if you want a more delicate wreath to use a smaller flower, and I'm a little concerned about having an itchy wreath. So I am something about
I wonder who put that idea in your head.
The itchy is bugging me a little bit. So I think I'm going to try this little floral image, this one that kind of goes on the end of this. See, this was kind of designed to just, if you wanted to fill that in, you could, but I'm going to use it and I'm going to try making a wreath out of it. A non-itchy wreath, Tom.
Well, mine is kind of looking like it might be itchy too, but
No, that looks beautiful. Look how bright and vibrant yours is.
So each time I turn it, I switch from the medium to the dark ink so that I have alternating colors. So that's another way you can make, get more from the Wreath Builder. You could do a rainbow of colors. And I like that I'm using solid images and you're using outline.
Yes, because you can use all kinds of stamps. I think because I designed some very small kind of graphic solid stamps when this first came out, I think a lot of people think that's what they have to use, but you're absolutely right. There's so many stamps, big and small. It just feels very close to the center here, but.
So I'm getting the feeling I might not be invited to the next live Gina K.
Well, here's the thing, Tom. As long as you don't say it to me.
Yeah, you'll be invited to Jennifer's live. Right.
I think it looks cool.
I think this one might look really cool.
Oh, look at that.
I think it's going to be very cool.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited about this one. I do kind of agree. I know what Tom's talking about. I've had those things stuck to my socks too. And
I
although
think
it's a beautiful
it's amazing
image.
how such different results using the same tool, just changing up the stamp.
Absolutely. It's so simple.
So has everybody seen how to do this? This piece is just temporarily glued on the top of it. So it still fits into the template because that thing's behind it. And so you can do bigger pieces. And now we have a wreath that's centered right in the center of an A2 panel.
Yeah, that's pretty brilliant. That's pretty brilliant because you can even make your cardstock bigger than that if you want, as long as you can just see that little thing to tuck it in, right?
And that's why I did the Wreath Builder. I taped it to the center so less was hanging out the bottom, but you could definitely do the corner if you wanted to.
Oh, for sure.
So there we have the flowers, but I can't stop there. You know that.
No, I know that.
Issues. Oh, dear.
Okay, I am digging this wreath.
Oh, Gina.
Yeah, right? Isn't that kind of cool?
Holy moly.
It's so fun to just see what's going to happen. And when you first start, it kind of looks like a train wreck, It's like,
oh my heavens.
Stick with it. Don't give up.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
You nailed the spacing.
Well, that was dumb luck.
Oh, good. Well, don't say that. Just say, yeah.
Question for Jennifer.
Yes.
Please ask Jennifer if she is wiping her stamp clean each time.
No, I didn't. You know why? the colors are really pretty close, and I'm lazy. So there you go. If you wanted to, you could just wipe it with a dry cloth, but I don't think there's much reason to really clean it well because these are so close in color. If I
It's
was doing
true.
like red and then I don't
Yellow.
know, blue, yeah, you definitely would want to clean between each. But you could do a rainbow here, and then you definitely would clean it. Man, that wreath is cool.
It looks pretty good, and it fits perfectly because I used that to figure out where to place it.
Very
Now,
good.
if you don't want to use this, you can also measure the circle on the template, and then you could just lay the template in there and pick which circle will match. So either way,
I think you
can do
need
that.
to come out with a stamp or that is that wreath
Oh, that's
the
a good
holidays.
idea.
because
That's
that's
a very
beautiful.
good idea.
Very
So Jennifer,
beautiful.
since you're not using pool, I'm going to use this wreath to test
Okay.
some colors. Should I use some turquoise colors here?
Sure. Go for it, because that's our color family.
Yeah. So I'm using, this is B00. It's Blue Frost. It's really pretty. I don't know if it's actually turquoise, but I think it'll work. So I'm just going to color in these big flowers with the blue, and then I might go in with a different color on the
That's gorgeous.
other ones. And it's easy to see which flowers are which here because these are pretty big. And again, you guys know I don't know how to color, so.
Okay, question.
Well, that's
from
why
Sue.
I picked solid image. Solid image.
Yes, Tom.
Question from Sue. She said, Jennifer, I have the old Wreath Builder template without that centerpiece. How could I do your tip without the centerpiece? Is that possible?
Yes. Make your own template. All you need is, so say your opening is 4 inches by 4 inches. Just cut a piece of scrap cardstock to 4 by 4 and glue that temporarily on the back.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. You just need something behind there that fits into the template. I can demonstrate that if we have time when we're done. But I'm going to move on to a leaf. I just placed one of the leaves from that same Flowing Florals. I put it right into that little nook between these two flowers. And I am once again going to alternate every time I rotate it. So I have key lime and lucky clover. I'm going for bright colors today. I love these for florals. So I've got one of the leaves here, and I'll alternate every time I rotate. But my cardstock is still stuck to the template in the same way.
Love it. I'm just checking some colors here. I want to see. Ooh, that's too dark. What other color should I use? Should I use a pink, guys?
Ooh,
Maybe
that
a
could be
pink
pretty.
and a blue? Or a purple. I'm going to use a purple. I feel like purple and blue are going to be a little bit more in the color palette that I'm going for. So let me just test this purple here. Well, that would be pretty. Let me test this one too. So I used B00, and then I used YG23 to color in something you can't see. So you can eliminate that because that was that was a waste of time. But
well, you could use any kind of coloring there. It's any kind of medium, right?
Absolutely. You
about
can
adding
use
color.
colored pencil. You can use Copics. You can use watercolor, whatever you want.
And since you used amalgam, right?
No,
Did
I
you use
didn't,
amalgamate?
Jennifer.
You
I just
didn't?
used our dye ink. Our dye ink actually is Copic proof and Gamsol
good.
proof. So
Oh,
if
there
I
you go.
wanted to add watercolor, then I would definitely have to use amalgam ink. And I know a lot of people like to mix medium, to like do mixed media types of cards where you do a watercolor background and then you add some colored pencil on top. You definitely need the amalgam for that.
Gotcha.
But this one,
I just always use the amalgam. I have it right here next to me, always within reach. Because it's like it's the only black ink where I know no matter what medium I'm doing, I can trust it won't be a problem.
It's going to work.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm going to see if this kind of lighter violet will work in here too. I think it will. I'm really going for a very delicate vintage look here. And I'm going to
And one thing is, I think that is really important to know when you're as you're watching us do this is that you could keep going. Like I could keep adding more flowers around here and more in the center, and you could have a full background. It doesn't have to just be a wreath.
She's right. I've seen her do it.
And that, yeah, that's what when I got the mandala stamp set, I went to town. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, those cards that
Fill
you
those
made
backgrounds.
were so unbelievable. If you guys
That was
haven't seen them
fun.
yet, go to Jennifer's channel and type in, or just even go anywhere on YouTube and just go to the search bar and type in Jennifer McGuire Wreath Builder cards. Oh my word, you're going to be floored at what that woman can do. She blows my mind quite often.
And folks are asking about which Wreath Builder template we're using. It's the one that's available now in your store. Somebody put up a link. Yep.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Yeah. There's only one Wreath Builder template available other than the mini. And the mini is great if you want to do really tiny cards. You want to do little tags and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's also, what's interesting about that mini Wreath Builder is some people have purchased it and just cut it down to fit inside their mini Misty.
Oh, smart.
Yeah. So this way, if you have a mini Misty and you want to do some wreath building, you may not be able to get quite as big, but using Jennifer's technique, you could. Definitely.
Yeah, you could definitely do this one. You could do a 5x7, even a 5x7 panel.
Yep. Absolutely. I love that. That's brilliant, Jennifer. Thank you for sharing that with everybody tonight.
So question for Jennifer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dear. That's scary.
Do you select a color palette before you start your card project?
Well,
not tonight.
Tonight, well, I did kind of a little practice run, a very rough one, just to show to Gina to make sure it would work for what we're doing. And I grabbed these inks because I have been using Gina's light, medium, and dark lilac and orchid a lot. So I reached for those first, but this could be done in any color palette. Usually I just go for whatever inks. Right now I'm into these orchid colors a lot. In fact, that's what look at that. I match my
You do. You dressed for the occasion. That's awesome.
So that was not intentional, but I could lie and say it was. So usually I let the product speak for themselves. I thought this would be like a fun kind of retro-y looking wreath. So I went for bright colors.
I love it. All right, now I'm going to color this bird. So you can see I just colored that with some light tones. And now I'm going to color the bird. I'm going to color these flowers on here to match.
Smart.
And remember, my wreath is in the background. It's only meant to be in the background. It's not really meant to be the focal image of my card the way Jennifer's is.
But it definitely could be.
It
so
could be.
Pretty.
It could be.
And go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say you're what you said before about like doing a Christmas thing with like the red gems and all. I love that idea.
That'd be so pretty.
Smart.
So I am doing leaves, like I'm just kind of tucking them in the nook of some of the flower petals to kind of fill this out. One thing that's really, I think, a huge time saver when you're forming a wreath is you can put multiple images in at once. So I could have put both of the leaves in and stamped them both at once, but I wanted to switch the colors up and alternate between the two shades of green. So I just decided to do each leaf separately. But if you're doing a whole background, you could definitely do multiple images in there at once. Oh, I did miss some on the bottom. Oh dear. Thank you. Who was that? Somebody caught that. All right. So if you do miss, I missed stamping these leaves here. So what I'm going to do is just line it up with one that is done. This happens to you. If you're on live with Gina and you're nervous, so you just line it back up with one you did and just replace it and then rotate back to where you missed and you will be good. There we go. Thank you to those who missed it or caught me missing that.
It's great though that you can just lay it right back on there and you don't have to scrap your whole project, right?
Oh yeah, I'm not scrapping anything.
No. I'm adding some blue into this bird here. just to pull some of
There
that
we
blue in. And I'm going to blend it with brown, which you can't do.
I really, oh, it'll work.
It'll work. You could blend anything, right? We learned that from our friend Kathy Rack.
Gosh, she would blend like oranges and purples. It was amazing.
Well, she would do these. If you guys never had the opportunity to go to one of her coloring road trips, she would ask people to pick colors randomly out of her Copic marker box. And then she would show that you can blend any two colors. Well, you know, crafters, they took that as a challenge. And they would pick the worst colors to blend together. And she would just make a masterpiece out of it.
She always could do it. And we just sat there watching.
Right. Gluing things together. Right, Jennifer?
Yep. That's what we do. I glue things together. I went to a doctor this morning and he asked me, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, oh, here we go. I don't know how to explain this. I glue paper together and people watch me doing it.
And we
like
love
that.
it. We love it. Okay, so I'm going to cut all of this out. I'm going to try not to tear down the whole system here with my short wire for my headphones. Let me back out a little bit. So I'm going to do a little bit of die cutting here. And I want this wreath to be perfectly centered. So I'm going to do my centering trick that I do when I'm nervous about something being perfectly centered. And that is to take a piece of cardstock of a different color. So in this case, I'm going to use craft because I'll be able to see it pretty well. I am going to use the circle die from this Master Layouts 12 die set to cut it out because it's going to give me a little decorative, well, it's going to give me a little decorative stitched edge. But I'm going to just cut it out of this piece of craft first. This is going to make sure that it's perfectly centered. Jennifer, that is absolutely spectacular. I looked up and I just, my breath caught. I was like, it's so beautiful.
Hey, they're your designs.
Well,
your
brain.
colors.
Your brain, girl. Okay, I'm going to use a little purple tape. You can use washi tape for this, but I'm going to tape down my design here.
So Gina, what happened to the large wreath builder template?
The large wreath builder templates were taken out of stock because many people were very confused on how to use them. And people were returning them left and right because they couldn't figure it out even after watching the video. And we just decided that we really don't want to confuse people. It's not something that we set out to do. And if it was confusing, then maybe we'll just stick with the ones that everybody seems to be able to do well. But with Jennifer's technique, kind of takes away the need for that anyway, because look at, she's making a much bigger wreath than you could make with the small templates by doing it her way here. So I love that.
So really you could go to 5 inches wide and still see these little corners to line up each time. So
it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just popped this die down into my template after I made sure that it was centered. So now I know where it's going to cut. And then I'm going to cut this out. Okay, there we go.
And I'm going to just take mine off of here. So I'm taking the card panel off this because now I need this on the front. I'll show you why in a moment.
All right, and I'm going to cut my bird die out here. I'm going to try to
cut your
it.
bird die.
I'm going to cut my bird.
While you cut your bird, I'm going to cut my sentiment. And this is where everybody freaks out, but I'm going to do it anyways.
Okay.
I've got the miss you so much sentiment. And I want just miss you right in this little centerpiece. I thought it'd be fun to have a smaller, like a daintier sentiment.
Here she goes. Surgeon Jennifer McGuire.
Yeah.
Dr.
The other option I was going to do was this. I love your hello die. Look at that. In fact, I love this hello die so much. I've already die cut a bunch ready to go. You know me.
I know.
Some folks were asking what colors I used. Medium orchid and dark orchid, and then lucky clover and key lime.
Okay. Okay, and Jennifer, I will add those colors to the description in the video
Okay.
afterwards. So, okay, so here is my bird that's going to be on that wreath. Okay.
Nice.
Now I'm looking at my wreath, and to be honest with you, I feel like it is just a little too colorful for this. What do you think, Jennifer?
The what? The bird? Or what?
The wreath is too colorful for the bird image.
I don't think so, but I just love that wreath.
Well, see, what I'm
I
thinking
don't want to hide
is,
it.
but what if I put a little vellum over it?
Oh.
And then
She's
I
so
have the
smart.
bird. So then the
There you go.
vellum just softens it up a little bit.
So it's not fighting for attention. for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Okay. So I'm going to cut my beautiful frame here. Let's cut one of these out.
And if you pop up that bird, it would stand out more too.
Definitely.
So while she does that, I'm gonna test, because some people are saying they would rather me do the hello than the miss you. So we're gonna test it, and this is a good thing to do if you're ever uncertain. And since I have this template here, I'm gonna just put my panel kind of as centered as best as I can in the, just looking at the corners, those black corners showing through. So see how these black triangles are about the same, and these are about the same. So I'm just putting that there temporarily. And I'll take this and lay it over there. And now I know where my center point is. So I know where to place my stamp in there. So I'm going to try the miss you, but I'm not going to stamp it directly. Yeah, the stamp's not crying, Mike. Stop. I'm going to try the miss you before I stamp it on my project. And sorry if my head gets in the way, but it's part of crafting. You can check out my gray hairs.
Hey.
Here we go. I earned every one of them thanks to Lila. Right, Lila? Huh? So I have the miss you there. Now I know it's centered because I went with that grid there. I'll close it to grab miss you. Now I don't want to stamp it on here yet. I want to test it because you all weren't sure. I'm going to give you an option. So I'm taking just a piece of acetate. This is just a backing from a stamp set, and I can clean it off when I'm done. I'll just lay it over that. So this is just acetate here. And I will stamp this just real quickly with black ink onto the acetate. And that will give me an idea. So you all have to give me your opinion. Do you prefer me doing that in the center or the hello? I think everybody's going to say hello. Either that or this. So you all tell me. I think everybody's going to say hello.
Do I get to vote?
There we go. What do you vote?
I vote hello.
Okay.
I just feel like that die set it's such a small die set, all our word dies are so big and that one isn't.
right.
And I think it just fits right in there. It's more bold.
Okay. So that's a good way, a little tip. If you're ever unsure, stamp onto acetate. And this is also a great way to test out the different places you could put a sentiment on your card. And then this will just wipe right off.
And also whether it's going to stamp straight.
Yes, that too. But even though I cut up my stamp, I can always put the words back together how they were intended to be. Now I will glue this together.
All right. So
What do you got going on there?
a bug just blew by me and it freaked me out.
Was it itchy?
I think I'm drawing bugs at this point. Yes.
Oh, dear.
It was itchy. I
An
feel
itchy
like
bug.
I know it's getting a little late. And if you have to go, Jennifer, I'll cry, but I understand because I know
No.
that I grabbed you for an hour, but sometimes I go over.
No, I'm sorry if I'm going too slow, but you know me.
Jennifer, I'm still in the middle of my card here. Hey, you know what? Oh my gosh, we have so many people here. I'm so grateful for you guys showing up.
Thank you for having me.
Oh
This
gosh,
is
thank
almost
you.
as good. Almost as good as being together. So I just have a bunch of these hello. In fact, I don't even have the dies out. I just have these already cut. I have the shadows cut a bunch from white. the words cut from white cardstock, black cardstock, and black glossy cardstock. So I can just reach in here and pick what I need whenever I am ready to add it to my card, because this is one of my favorite word dies.
Wow, you really you have a lot of those die cuts ready to go.
Well, it's a good one. What's the name of the die set this comes in?
Ooh, I knew you were going to ask me that, and it is called. Let me think, because it's Scripty Quartet.
Oh
There's
yes,
4 different word and shadow dies in there. It's got the word for, and it's got the word you, which is cool because you can use it for tags. You can use it for, but that little you can be used for so many things too. So I love that.
All right, Tom. People are asking.
Oh, are they asking for the word of the day?
The word of the day is not itchy.
No, it's not itchy.
It's not itchy.
Okay,
Megan, you asked.
We're going to sneak a word of the day in here.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Okay, word of the day. All right, so if you go to a barbecue and you're really not in the mood for anything but popcorn, you're being cornivorous. Okay?
Cornivorous.
Cornivorous. You're in a cornivorous mood. If you just want to have the corn when you go to a barbecue, you're not into anything else to eat. Cornivorous mood. Word of the day. Back to the dish.
Fantastic. You nailed it.
Oh my gosh.
You nailed it.
So I just pulled a die out. This is from our single stitched circles, and it's just a little bigger than this die. I'm going to see if I can cut this vellum with it, and then if I can tuck all of this behind this frame. I think I can, but I wanted this vellum to be just a little bit bigger than this, so it gets hidden behind the frame, and I don't have to worry then about getting vellum onto my wreath. I'm kind of just going to wedge it in between there, if that makes sense.
Smart. Very smart.
All right. I still have to do a greeting. All right. Connect glue. Where are you? I'm going
Right
to
here.
glue this. You got enough of them?
Want to
over
borrow
there,
mine?
Jennifer?
You can borrow mine.
I love that. Jennifer came to one of our girls' weekends, and
Oh dear.
she opened up her little basket of things, and she had 9 million die cuts, and then she had like 12 bottles of Connect glue. It was so funny, and it also made me very misty.
If there's an apocalypse, I'm your girl for Connect. I am your girl. There will be no shortage.
You're gonna have it all.
I will have it all.
I just want
So
you
I
to
just
know
glued my panel onto a note card. That's all I've done here. What were
you're
you
way
gonna say?
ahead. I was just going to tell you. I just wanted you to know that we just put an order in for 10,000 fine tip bottles this morning.
Oh, good, because you know me.
I know.
I have to have one in every room. In fact,
I'll send you 5,000 of the 10,000. Okay.
I've got more around here somewhere. There's 2.
They're up in the kitchen.
But do you know what's upstairs is my little picker-upper.
Oh, your
My-
jewel picker, your pick and
Yeah,
stick.
so here I am fumbling with my fingers. Gosh.
Well, you must have
You
something.
definitely-
You can use somebody else's jewel picker if you have it there. I know
No,
you've got...
mine's upstairs because I did a bunch of gluing together this weekend. So
you were picking.
it makes me it makes me appreciate having a tool. Some people can pick these up with their tweezers. They go launching across the room when I do that. So I'm just putting a pearl at the center of every flower. I just thought that'd be fun.
Okay, wish me luck. I'm going to glue this vellum
Here
to
she
the back
goes.
of this. I'm nervous. I layered 2 together. I probably would normally layer 3 together, but we don't have all night. I do like layering 3 of these frames together.
It makes it look like a chipboard embellishment.
It really does.
Real frame stuck to the front of the card.
Okay, so there, I've got my vellum there. So there.
Laura said I do my booping upstairs.
Yeah,
Kathy always
Kathy-
calls that booping.
Kathy Z's booping.
I bet Kathy's here.
She might be, but she's probably sleepy, and so she's just watching. All right. Now
I am not going to try tweezers on screen because they will go shooting everywhere. So this just shows you the value of a picker-upper.
a quicker picker-upper.
These are just pearls. Gina's got a nice mix of pearls, and she's got sequins and stuff. Anything to add to the center of the flower, I think, always is fun.
I love that. I should add some jewels too. I knew we'd go over because, first of all, we started like at 6:15 so we could talk.
Yeah, we got to talk, right?
Figure it out.
The band is on vacation tonight.
Oh, the band is on vacation
Oh,
tonight.
man. See, I should have Ken down here, and the two of them could have a little duet going while
Oh yeah,
we create.
I want to
But
actually.
Ken
do
is
that.
not nearly as good as Tom. So
Oh, poor Ken. Oh my goodness.
he hasn't been playing that long. So
Oh, I just dropped half my cardstock. I'm going to use some dark chocolate here because where did my? Wait a minute. I'm going to use charcoal brown since that is the ink that I'm using. Oh, wow.
So
These
while you
cards
do
are gonna
that,
be very
can I
different. Yes.
can I show how you can do this trick if you don't have this center template?
That's a great idea because I'm just going to keep building my card here. And then,
So
yes.
just cut 4 1/4, or I'm sorry, a 4-inch by 4-inch piece of scrap cardstock, and you just put it right into the spot there. So put it right into the template, and then put some temporary adhesive on the top of it. So it's got some tape runner. I don't know if you can see that. So it's facing up, and now you take your size panel you want. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but you could use 5 by 7 if you wanted to. And then try to lay it on there so it's centered, so that the black showing at the top and on the sides, up here and down here, and here are the same. So that's centered on there. So now, nope, I lied to you. This is the first time I've ever done that. Put it in the diamond spot. Sorry about that. This is the first time I've tried this. Now lay this on top. So see how these are sticking out the side?
Oh,
And just leave that back there as you do your stamping. And you'll just go from one position to the next and rotate
That's
that way. So you
great.
can make your own. And then just keep that. I'll just make a little, I want to show you how cool this is. This little guy right here, you can make the fastest wreath known to man with that. And I'll just do that while you finish.
All right.
If I can find mine. Ooh, that's pretty. Did you do the swipe thing?
I did. I did a little quick wood graining over that because I want the frame to stand out. And it's the same color as the cardstock. Now I got to lay on the floor for a minute.
What?
I'll be back.
Is it nap time?
It feels like it. I had to go down and cut this with my big paper cutter. I've actually run out of room here on my space. And then, let's see. I'm going to score that at 5 1/2. I did a little survey, top fold or side fold. So Jennifer, what do you prefer?
Top.
Top?
Always.
Always. Yeah, I
Always.
think that the top fold, I think it came about because so many of us used to take our pictures of our cards standing up before the flat lay.
Oops, sorry.
And, all right.
Ink pad down. I think you're right. I also think it just stands on display so nicely. It doesn't fall as easy,
Yeah,
but it's a personal preference.
it definitely is. So I'm thinking if I put this here like this, see how the vellum just softens that so much?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's gorgeous.
And I can adhere this to the back here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put tape on the back of this wreath. And then I'm going to hold it in place on this frame and figure out where I want my frame. And then once I figure that out, then I can tack that down, and that should be in the right place then.
There you go.
Now we're going to...
Your card is so warm and cozy, and mine looks like we have to go to a rave.
I'm ready.
So bright. So bright.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the cool thing about us going live together is we can
Yes.
show people some fun techniques that they can use with this template or anything that we use. And we can do like 2 different styles just to give them 2 different ideas at once. Because normally when I go live, they get one choice.
Sure.
So this is really fun for me, and I know it's fun for everybody else.
So this is another little image from the same stamp set that my big flowers were from. And I just stamped all this in Lucky Clover. And you could just add little pearls, red gemstones, different colored gemstones to those little dots. And you could see how quick that was to put together. So these were made from the same stamp set.
Jennifer made 2 cards. I'm still gluing my frame down.
No. I'm just doing a background here. Mine was quick. That's unusual for me.
It is unusual.
But check, and also I think it's really important to note the way you position your stamp can change the look up every time. So both of these, I did this one as a quick test, so it's not done well. But these were both made with the stamp. I just started with my stamp in a different position, and look at how you can change the results. You know, you can make your wreath more big, a little smaller, whatever you want.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All righty. Now I'm going to pop my bird up.
There's got to be a word out of that.
There's got to be a word of the day coming.
Yes. And this would be who said it? Somebody, it went off the screen. But this would be cute to add some little pearls here and then do like the little bee like sitting on it, because there are dies that are available that coordinate with this incentive. So you could do a little bees flying around there.
That would be so cute. All right. Well, I may not have time to do a real greeting, so I may do a quick greeting, like a little thank you.
There you go. Yeah.
Wouldn't that work?
Yes.
Just like that. Let me zoom in a little bit. I feel like you're looking from an airplane.
No.
There we go.
That's gorgeous.
And even though, you know, these vintage cards, sometimes these little strip sentiments look really good because they look like that old-fashioned label maker.
Oh, yeah.
And I see that being used a lot in vintage card making.
Yep.
So we could put that right
But I like
here.
this because the letters are bright white. You know, they stand out more.
They do stand out. All right. So I'm going to let it go. But there's, you can see my wreath is just hidden behind the vellum. So it just calms it down a little bit. But the colors are the same. So, you know, you still have some brightness there. And I am going to add a couple pearls because I can.
Yes.
Here we go.
So we used the same tool and got such different results.
We did. It's very cool, isn't it?
Yes.
Very cool.
And we could go live every night, and every night the cards would look different.
Every night. Yes, they would. Tom, you ready for that? You're going to need a word of the day every night. I'm adding pearls here because I feel like it just needs it. That's just a little more vintagey, right? Top and bottom pearl.
So pretty. Yes.
Yeah. So
you can't go wrong with pearls.
So Jennifer, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor and everybody else because your card is so gorgeous. Would you be willing to take a picture of that and then share it in our group, in our Facebook group? and send it to
Of
me
course.
so I can share
Yes.
it on my YouTube channel too.
Yes.
Definitely want to do that.
Are we gonna? Do you give them away still?
Yeah, definitely. So we should definitely give them away. What do you think, Tom? Are you prepared for the giveaway?
I am.
Okay.
I am totally prepared. Okay, so we're going to do a cheesy drum roll as we always do.
All right.
Big giveaway. Here, a double.
Yeah, and a
All
Jennifer
right.
McGuire card. So come on.
Okay, the
Oh,
first
come
card
on.
is which card?
Do Jennifer's first.
All right, Jennifer's card is going to Sherry Hendricks.
Woohoo,
Sherry Hendricks.
Yay.
Congratulations. I'm still making my card. I'm putting
Woo.
small pearls here because I have to.
You know, that would look good
Okay.
on mine too. I think I'm going to do that.
And Gina's card
Yes, my card.
is going to, the winner is Dawn Lee.
Hey, Dawn,
Lee.
congratulations.
Yay, Dawn.
Woo. Tom has all the sound effects going, but I can't hear them, but I know they're there.
They're there.
Are they
I
there?
Can hear 'em.
Okay, good.
I hear 'em.
So, ladies, if you would send your name and address to info@ginakdesigns.com and just let us know which card you won, I will get your address over to Jennifer and I will send you mine as well. All right. Well, this was so much fun. Did you have a good time, Jennifer?
I did.
I had
I
so
did.
much
This-
fun.
I don't know how you do this so often. It is stressful.
Oh, you think so? See, I don't think it's anywhere near as stressful as I don't know. I do both styles, so
Yeah.
I prefer this. Because
You're good at it.
I don't know
You're
what
the
I'm
pro.
doing. I don't have to plan.
Oh, well, that works too.
But it's hard because Jennifer, if you're the one person out there that hasn't seen a Jennifer McGuire video, and there might be one of you out there, maybe that hang out on Twitch, maybe one of you hasn't seen her, you got to go to YouTube and subscribe to her channel and watch her videos because, you know me, you come to my videos, you get one card. You go to Jennifer's videos, you get like 18 cards per video. I mean, she is
you get put to
amazing.
sleep.
Yeah, well, that's only because you have a beautiful voice.
Ask my kids. No, not true.
Well, this was so much fun. I love having you here. I want to do it again. And we also are going to plan to go live on your channel too, right?
Yes.
That'll be fun too. We'll be doing that soon. All right,
Yes.
everybody. Well, this was so much fun. Jennifer, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your talent with everybody.
Thank you for having me. You know how much I appreciate it.
Ah, well, I love you. You
Good.
know that.
I love you too. Can't wait to
And-
see you in person.
I know. I'm missing those hugs. I'm missing my warm
Yep.
Jennifer snuggle.
Yeah.
Soon, very soon. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Tom and I will be back on Thursday with another Stampin' Chat live, and then we'll be back on Friday. Bring Jennifer back in. We'll be back on Friday. I'll be back on Friday with a pre-recorded video, not a Jennifer video, but something like 5 minutes long, super short. Hey, there she is. Hey, girlfriend.
We're twins today.
Yeah, you really are. Look at their tops. So cute. I love it. I love it. You guys are so cute. You are twins, you know.
Yeah.
Does everybody say that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We get that a
Definitely.
lot.
Definitely.
That we're twins. She can't hear. So
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Sorry, Lila. All right, everybody. Well, thank you all so much for being with us. Stay safe and healthy. We love you all so very much. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.